Cheating, betrayal, okay, but how does it show up? What do you do about it?
So the other factor that creates, as I mentioned from the story also, is the internal factors. And internal factors, we basically call them as the 3-pin plug of relationship. A 3-pin plug, like how we have.
Right.
So we call that as a 3-pin plug of the relationship. And it consists of 3 things: the karmic causes, the root causes, and the ancestral causes. These are the 3 causes that actually sends current to a relationship that results into cheating, betrayal, or negatively it affects. So I will explain a little bit about these, all 3 of them. So the first one, let's talk about the karmic causes. So these are the energies that we bring from our past lives. For instance, if you were kind and compassionate in your past lives, you will attract loving and supportive relationship in this life. However, if you were hurtful and abusive in your past lives or your previous births, then there is a bright possibility that you may attract challenging relationships, which will now play in your life to teach you some important life lessons. So this is how the karmic cause comes into play. When we do one session, we are able to actually heal minimum 5 to 6 past lives. We are able to open and clear minimum 5 to 6 past lives. And just to explain a little bit more about the karmic ones, I will tell you a case study where there was this lady, and she was a widow or in her 60s, and she was living with her son and daughter-in-law. And then she decided to go to visit her brother who was in another town. Right. So she stayed there she went for 1 month, but then 3 months passed, and she kept calling her son, and they started ignoring her. Oh. And every time she even called her grandchildren or her daughter-in-law, they said that, oh, they are very busy, the kids have exam, and very short, either they would not take her call or call was very short. Right. So she freaked out, and now she did not have the guts to go back to her own home. So she came for this session. She felt very cheated and betrayed from her own son. So when we did her session where we work on all the 3 plugs of the relationship, the primary cause of her problem was her karmic relationship with her son. So when we healed that, within no time, her daughter-in-law actually called her and asked her, what's your plan? When are you coming back home? So this is how it is a karmic thing. When it gets healed, it shows this type of result. The second plug of our 3-pin plug is the root cause. Root cause is basically your current life experience. If you have experienced trauma in your childhood, then you might have issues with trust and intimacy in your relationship. However, if your family environment was loving, supporting, then your attitude towards relationship will be very positive and good. So this is how the root cause is the present life issue. So again, just to quickly explain to the audience a little bit more, I will share one more case study here, where this young girl came for a session, 16 years old, and she said, I have mood swings, I'm having panic attacks, and can you do something about it? So when we did the healing, what we found was that she felt cheated and betrayed from her parents. So basically her parents had abusive marriage, and then they decided to divorce each other. And the court gave her possession to the father. And they were from a very well-off, father was very well-off, but he started misbehaving with the daughter, treating her like a maid, delaying the education fees, and all sorts of emotional abuse was happening with her. And when she confronted the father said that I'm doing this because the reason is that you resemble your mother, and that irritates me. Oh. So yeah, she was so she felt so cheated from her own parents, like, you know. Right. So again, the root cause of her issue was primarily in the trauma that she experienced from childhood. So when we did again the 3 plugs for her, her life actually changed big time. Her father actually offered her a part-time job in his own business, started taking her out, going to gym together. Nowadays, they're going to gym together. So when you heal these at that level, the behavior changes. Nice. And the third part of the plug.
Very sorry,
Yeah.
quickly coming in. So when she came, you said she's like 16. So
Yes.
when she came to you, did she come to you saying, I've been cheated, betrayed? I mean, do people come and say, I've been cheated, betrayed, or do they come with something and this
No,
shows up?
yeah. She came. She thought she's having mood swings
Right.
and panic attacks. So she came for that reason. But when we conversed, then she actually felt she said that she feel cheated and betrayed. But not that she said, oh, you know what, this is my issue, cheating and
Right.
betrayed. Yeah, not like that. No.
Right. Right. Got it. Okay. And you were going to mention the third.
The third is the ancestral cause. And the ancestral one is with the idea that if our ancestors have something unresolved issues or traumas, then that can directly affect your current relationship. And also certain beliefs, behaviors, and attitudes also get passed down to the lineage. Again, I got a client and he would fight with everybody. That was his issue. He was just like, even he every day he promised to himself that he's not going to fight, but he ended up fighting with his loved ones. And basically, what I found was his ancestors were warriors. So, and he was carrying that warrior energy from his ancestors. So what happened was, if you would have joined a defense, a navy, or a army, any defense service, it would have been a quality for him. But unfortunately, he joined his family business, and he did not know how to process his warrior energy. And
Right.
actually, his wife came, and she felt cheated and betrayed in her relationship with him, because she said, "I have no social life. He has fought with all our friends.
Right.
I can't go. I live in a family with mother-in-law, sister-in-law. I can't talk to them because he has fought with them." So she did not know what to do. And she said, although he's a loving husband and a loving father, but we don't know what to do with him. He fights. If we spend more time with him, he fights with us also.
Right.
And interestingly, if you see his karmically, he vibrated parents. This guy, he vibrated parents who were like, control freaks, who were very dominating since childhood. So what he learned from childhood was that if you want to get something done, you have to revolt.
Right.
So his present life program was fights and arguments. Ancestral energy was warrior energy,
Right.
and karmically dominating parents. So the three pin, and since childhood there were fights and arguments in his family. The environment was absolutely toxic.
Right.
So when we did the internal and the external both, when we did the three pin, where we worked on the root cause, the karmic cause, and the ancestral cause, and when we cleared his house, big behavioral changes came. Big
I'm
changes.
sure. I'm sure.